Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Good day, everyone, depending on where you are listening from. My name is Daniel Otabo, and today we're going to be talking about how you can monetize your passion for cooking. Um, a brief introduction about myself. So, I have been in the consulting space for over 5 years, 5, 6 years now. I've helped people start up their businesses, different businesses, and recently I delved into the food space. When I got the invite to come and speak on this, it was a huge privilege because I thought it was something that people should actually get into. It's a space that has not been explored yet. There are a lot of opportunities there for people to just come in and just add value and make some good money from that industry, from that space. So yes, I would be sharing with you a few things that I have learned over the course of say 2 years now, and I think that is very vital. But I would focus more on the last 1 year from during the pandemic all up to this time. But I'll focus more on just the last 1 year so that I can just help you understand how big this is and how much you can actually gain from you know monetizing your passion for cooking. So I'll give you a brief story. As far back as last year, 2020, in the heat of the pandemic, sometime around April, May, a friend of mine had texted me to say, Danny, I think I have this idea about food business and I think can actually fly. So I said to him, what is the business? Let me hear it. And he told me that it was a business for selling burgers, shawarmas, chicken and chips, and all of that stuff. And I'm like, that's good. That's good. We can make it happen. Um, he told me the name that he had in mind, and I said, okay, fine, let's make it work. Now, when this came to his mind, yeah, he came brought it to me. He wasn't too sure about how he was going to go about it, so I had to think about it, and come up with a strategy that's going to work for us during the pandemic. Remember, during the pandemic, there was a lockdown in Nigeria. There was a lockdown, and people could not actually all over the world. There was a lockdown. People could not stuff. So we had to think about ways we could actually make this work during the pandemic. And remember, food was an essential commodity, it was an essential service. So those who were selling food were allowed to sell, whether cooked food or raw food, they were allowed to sell. The market that was still booming even during the pandemic. All of our businesses had shut down, but the food industry was still making the money that the money out there. They were making money, so it was a good thing to plug into at the time. So we came up with a strategy to see how do we make this work. And the first thing you need to understand is if you want to delve into the food business, is that you need to ensure that your brand identity is key. You have to understand your brand identity. So, what do you want it to look like? What do you want? What kind of who do you want to serve? What demography of people do you want to serve? Young people, all demography, say old, young, whatever it is. Who do you want to appeal to? You have to understand who you want to appeal to. That will in a sense inform the kind of brand you want to build. So it will inform your color, the space, the ambience of your space, how you want the space to look like, how attractive you want it to look like, and how appealing you want to look at to those you want to appeal to. Right. So you have to understand your brand identity, which also means your logo, the name of your business, the tagline. So for example, I use the burger place, for example. The burger place, the tagline is no other tastes better. I don't care if you believe it. Nobody cares if you believe that. Nobody cares if your own tastes better than my own or the other person's own. As long as you stand by your word and no other tastes better, and you try your best to ensure that the quality of your product is of great standard and it tastes so great, over time people will begin to believe that no other actually tastes better. If you continually ring it in the minds of people, in the ears of people to say, no other tastes better, your product is the best, my product is the best, you can get the best price, the best value for your money, people will begin to believe it as long as you are consistent in what it is that you're saying, you're proclaiming, or what it is that you're selling. Okay, so your brand identity is key. You have to understand your brand identity. The next thing you need to understand is your recipe. Your recipe. Now, why do you need to put this into consideration? I'll tell you why. You see, there is likely going to be 1 to 10, 10 to 20 people that are going to be selling the same thing that you're going to be selling, right? But it needs to taste different. Yours has to taste different. So the taste of your food, the taste of whatever it is that you're selling as is food, it has to be different. So I need to know that I'm coming into your restaurant and it is a great taste. And not just in one restaurant, across board if you're going to be having several restaurants. So if you have a location in Lagos, in Kenya, in Uganda, in the UK, in the US, the same taste across board. It should taste the same in Lagos. It should taste the same in Rwanda. It should taste the same in Ghana, in South Africa, in the UK. The recipe must be the same. That is how you build a solid brand. That is how you build a business that's going to thrive. People will come back and say, yes, when I travel to London, it's the same taste as it is in Lagos. So your recipe, you need to get the recipe right. So that might take you days, it might take you weeks, it might even take you months to get that recipe right, but you need to get your recipe right. And one of the reasons why you also need to have a recipe is because you don't want to be tied to just one cook or several cooks. For example, if your cook should leave, it is very easy for you to teach someone else how to produce the same quality that you've been producing for a very long time. All right, so that's why you need to have a recipe, the list. You need to have the way it is being made, number of spoons of whatever it is you're putting into your recipe. You have to have that documented, so that so that you can always train the next person that is going to head your next branch, your next outlet, your next location, whatever it is. So you need to have a recipe. It is very, very important. The other thing you need to think about is the quality and the quantity. The quality and the quantity of what it is that you want to serve. The quality and the quantity of what you want to serve. So this will also inform the price. You see, one of the things that you need to understand is that if you're entering the market, when you're entering the market, you need to look at what is being done and what can be done. All right. Understand that you know who you are trying to appeal to, your target audience. So your brand is going to inform that. Okay. So you know your target audience. You also understand their earning capacity and their spending capacity. All right. If you understand their earning capacity and their spending capacity, you will be able to tell yourself what can they offer or what can they pay for such beautiful meal, for such amazing, yummy, tasty meal. What would they be willing to offer? And you can tell if you understand your demographic, if you understand their earning capacity and their spending capacity, so that you don't go about trying to appeal to some people and then you are putting in the price that they cannot afford at the time. And because you are new to the market, it might be tricky if your price is way higher than other people's prices. But nothing is cast in stone. You could have a higher price and people will still come and buy your product. And when they come, if it's tasting very nice, they are hooked. They're like, oh, amazing! I'm so glad I found this spot. It's a good one. They go on the internet and they tell people about it. Referrals, people come and try your restaurant, your outlet, and the food is great, and then it's great. But you must be careful about the pricing. So understand the quality that you want to offer and the quantity in your price. So the quality is important because you are coming to a market that, even though it's not super saturated in terms of how people are making use of technology and how people are making, in a sense, getting this food to customers and attracting more customers to come to their locations. Even though you still have you have what's the word? You have an advantage to go in there and see succeed. You still need to ensure that your quality is great because people are careful about the kind of things that they eat. All right, and people always like their food to be not too much, but at least something that they can pay for. And they'll be like, "Oh, this is good. I mean, I enjoyed the meal, and it was worth the money that I paid for." All right, the money I paid for it. So the quality and the quantity is important for you. Then the pricing, you have to understand the pricing. Also, the other thing that is critical that you must understand is your team. Your team, the people that are going to be working with you. You see, what usually happens for um, restaurants is that they work with a shift system. Okay, one of the reasons why they work with a shift system is because it is easier for you to allow the people that are working to rest because you're literally working from pretty much 7 a.m. till about say 10 o'clock. You don't want one person to work the whole shift from 7 a.m. to 10 o'clock. The person is going to get overwhelmed because whoever is working for you is 7 people, and the 7 people will be different people coming in at different times to want to be served with they want to be served well. So you need someone who is fit, someone who is not too tired. So if you put all of things into consideration, you say to yourself, it is better for you to work with a shift system so that people can come in from say 7 o'clock, they close by 2 p.m., right? Then the next shift starts by 2 p.m. till about 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whatever time you want to close. But it's important that you work with a shift system, okay? So that people can rest and then, you know, work at their maximum capacity. So you need to work with a shift system. Also, the shift system also ensures that the pay that you're giving to your workers, right, is enough for them to take care of themselves. And it's not going to break the bank for you as an employer of labor, and it's also going to be enough for whoever it is that you're employing. So they're not working a 9 to 5 stretch. They have time, they can go on a morning shift and on an afternoon shift. And one other thing again I think you should look at in the restaurant space is excuse me, is try and see how you can employ people who are in school, young people, uh, students, people who are looking for an extra job, people who are, in a sense, waiting to get into school. These are the kind of people that you want to get into the space for to work with because they will be willing to work at the pay that you are giving with the shift system. So if you look at big restaurants, you see that this is what they've been doing over time. There's a shift system, and most of them are in school. It's a part-time work for them, uh, or they have other jobs. So they come in the morning, they come in the evening, and they can, in a sense, go to go do whatever they want to do in the morning. They come in the evening. So it's important that you understand this system, a shift system. So number one, it ensures that your staff they are fit, they're not overwhelmed with the work from morning to evening, late in the evening, they're not overwhelmed, and then you can pay them well, and also you can ensure that they will be working at their maximum capacity, and they will also be willing to work at the price that you're paying for. So you have to understand your team. Then I think I mentioned the ambience, how you want your space to look like. You see, what I noticed during the pandemic is that most businesses understood that it was important for them to find a space where they could produce and then get their product to their customers' doorstep. So what does this mean? So as opposed to you getting a big space at a ridiculous amount of money, what you could do as a startup or trying to start up your own business, your own cooking business, is to see how you can get a space that is affordable, and then you get delivery bikes. So I'll give you an example. So you want to rent a space that's going to cost you about 3 million naira to get a space for like 1 year. Let's even say 1.5 million naira for 1 year, and you're going to get stuff. You're going to get your furniture, your furnitures in, your cooking utensils, your gas, your what all of the things you need to make your food, make your product. You're going to spend about say 2 million, roughly 2 million. Just the space, all your equipment, and all of that stuff. Say 2 million naira thereabouts, and and then you can get a small space for half that price, even less than half that price. Say 500,000 naira. All right, you get a space of 500,000 naira, and then you get two bikes. Two bikes. One of the bikes should cost about say 300,000 naira. So two of that would be 600,000 naira plus the space 500,000 naira. That's 1.1 million naira. Um, you have say 900,000 naira saved. All right. So what that tells you is that you want to try your best to see how you can start small. So you think big, you start small, and you grow fast. You start small, you want to get into the industry with a clear strategy. You start like this, you have your bikes for delivery. You're taking food to customers as opposed to them coming to you. Again, depending on how you want to serve your customer, on the finance you have to start your business. But I always advise people to start small. Test the waters, see what the industry has for you, see what that space has for you. I know you have a passion to cook, but you need to think about it in a way that you say to yourself, how do I start small and still serve the people I want to serve with the same quality and the same quantity, and they will keep on coming to me. All right. So you do that. You have your small space, you have your bikes, you have your riders, and then you are delivering the food to people. So you have walk-ins, they come and pick up, and then you have delivery, right? So you go deliver the food to people. You are saving costs for renting a very big space where people are not even allowed to come and sit down and have eat their food. I mean, the pandemic is the virus is still out there. People are still skeptical, sorry, about coming out to sit with their family members, with their friends, to hang out. So you want to say to yourself, what's the best way for me to serve these people, make money, enjoy what I'm doing, make money, but serve them really well. So you want to have delivery bikes to take the food to them. Now the food gets to them, they love the food, and then you ask yourself, how do I get across to these people? That takes me to the next point. Adverts. You need to maximize media. You have to maximize the social media space. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, those are the three major space you can actually use to maximize your business. So you want to be effective on those platforms. You want to be super effective. Your postings, your sponsored ads, you need to be in the faces of people 247. The ads has made it so easy for people to get in the faces of people. People spend so much time on the internet, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. So you want to also be there, giving them nice pictures, showing them videos of how you're making the products, how you go shopping, how clean your environment is, how clean your bikes are, how clean the food is, how you deliver products. You want to have 247 ad running on Instagram, and you want to try your best to grow a community of people who then love to continually purchase and come to your space or order from you. All right. So you have your bikes, you have your nice space where you make your delicious meal, and then you are strong on social media. If you're consistent, you can have over 10,000 followers on Instagram in the space of 3 months. Excuse me. In the space of 3 months, you can have 10,000 followers in the space of 3 months if you're consistent. No jokes. In the space of 3 months, if you're consistently doing your ads, posting, sharing remarkable content, you can have 10K followers in the space of 6 months. 3 months, sorry. So that's one way you can actually get people to see your product and continually come and buy from you. Sorry. Excuse me. So that's one way you can make it happen. So you want to ensure that when people purchase from you, that they keep on coming. And how will they keep on coming? Because the taste is great. The taste is great. So if the taste is great and the price is good, they will keep on coming. They'll keep on coming. All right. And you want to ensure that you're using the raw materials you're using, the raw products you're using are of great quality. And that's one reason why I think you should go with Golden Penny, because they have everything that you need to make a delicious meal. They have it, from the oil, from the flour, whatever it is that you want to do. They have all of the products lined out for you to use to make your food delicious. Okay, and then they are affordable. All right, so you want to ensure that you're getting to this space. You are thinking about how much am I going to put in, and how much am I going to get out. Okay. And one thing that I think is very important and that you must understand again is that I think I mentioned it in passing, your team. You see, as a startup or as a small business or whatever it is, you want to ensure that the team that you're working with understand the vision of the business. They key into the vision of the business. They see that there's somewhere that we're going to. In the space of 1 year, we're going to be this. In the space of 2 years, we're going to be this. Ensure that you continually share the vision of the business to them. Excuse me. And so that they can have an idea of where it is that you're going and where they are going. As soon as they key into the business, trust me, you are going to be having people who come to work happy, people who want to always come to work, people who want to always be a part of what it is that you're doing. And that can really help you and the business. It can really help the business so much. So if you have a passion for cooking and you're thinking, what's the best way for me to start? These are like the best. This I just shared with you are like one of the best ways for you to start. You can start. In fact, you can even start in your house. Exactly. You can start in your house, own a bike, a delivery bike. You cook from your home. Own a delivery bike. You literally bombard the internet with fantastic images. You have great brand identity. Your logo is catchy. The tagline is catchy. Your Instagram page is so good. Um, your ads are going 247. If you have a kitchen and you love to cook, you can make money by just getting the food to the customers. You can make money by just getting the food to customers. In the space of 6 months, the burger place has we currently have 3 outlets in the space of 6 months. And that's because there was a clear strategy. We don't want to have we want to try and have like a very big space. We want to have locations that are close to customers that we want to serve. That's one thing that the burger place did. So you want to ensure to say, those I want to serve, where are they? How can I get to them? When you understand all of these things, you say to yourself, okay, then I'm going to try my best to ensure that I get this thing to them at the right time. Another thing with food is that you must ensure that the food doesn't get to your customers cold. So you don't want to be in a particular location and be delivering food that is going to be like 1 hour 30 minutes away from where you are serving the food. That is going to spoil your brand. You're going to get to them cold. They're going to have complaints, and you don't want sort of bad remarks. And one other thing that you have to also make do of or make use of is referrals, or what's the word now? Feedbacks from your customers. So when you get feedbacks, you want to ensure that you share those feedbacks with other customers. People who are thinking, should I purchase from him? Should I purchase from them? When they say those feedbacks, they're like, interesting. I think I want to try the food. I think I want to try that food. And you want to take pictures. Pictures are very good videos. People see other people coming to your outlet. They want to go there. They want to be a part of. They want to taste your food. So you have to think about these things very well. Number one, your brand identity. Number two, your recipe. Number three, your space. Number four, the quality and quantity. Number five, the pricing. Your team and mode of delivery. You have to think about this things to say to yourself, what's the best way for me to get this product? What I enjoy doing. I truly, truly enjoy cooking. And I want to make money from this. This is like the best way for you to make money from this. I mean, it's not rocket science, but a lot of people don't think about it in this way. When they think about cooking, they, in a sense, think about it to say to themselves, I have to have a big space where people can come in to buy food, people can come in to sit down. It's a good thing. But if you don't have that money right now to start in that scale, you can start where you are with what you have and deliver remarkably. You can do so well from where you are, and before you know what's happening, you have enough money saved to own the dream space you want to have, right? And that will become a success story for you. You started from the bottom, now you're here, kind of thing. So you want to ensure that you think about, so you can have that grand vision, you can have that grand dream, right? But you must say to yourself, what is the smallest way I can start this business and then succeed at this business and grow remarkably and grow well? So what's the best way that I can start this great vision I have for cooking? What's the best way? What's the smallest way? You find the small way, and then you grow from there. Okay. Remember, you can start from your kitchen, from your mom's kitchen, from your friend's kitchen. Um, you can start from a small space, and then you grow from there. Okay, especially when you love to cook. If you really love to cook and you want to make money from it, this is like one of the best ways for you to make this happen for you. All right, and yes, so this can work. If you put this into consideration, you can make it work for you. All right. I wish I could take questions. I don't know how I'm going to take questions now. Or uh, let's see. I would love to take questions.
You actually have questions in the chat room, so check your chat room. You have a number of questions there. Yes.
Okay. So how do I? Let me see. Trying to check.
Yes.
Okay.
There
So
are a
I'm
lot of
seeing.
questions there.
How do you prevent?
Yes.
Oh, how do you prevent? This is Babatunde Adenike. Is that correct?
Babatunde Ade Nike.
Babatunde
Yes.
Adenike. How do you prevent your employees from stealing your recipe? So I think that's the first question, if I'm not mistaken. Let me be sure that's the first question. Okay, okay. All right. Now, Martin, what I think you need to do is that the recipe should be between you as the employer of labor and your chief chef. Um, One way or the other, the chef might be able to leave leave your business space and then go and replicate and whatnot. All right. But one thing I've realized over time doing this business is that most chefs do not have that business acumen to make their business succeed. They know how to cook, but they don't know how to run the business. Running the food business is more than just cooking. You need to understand numbers. You need to understand uh, employee management. You need to understand when to scale up. You need to understand when to come up with new products. You need to understand when it is time to launch a new product, like I just said. So it's more than just cooking. So your recipe should not be open to all your employees. Your recipe should be to between you and the chef, the head chef. And one other thing that you need to understand again is that you don't have so you should if you're trying to open like multiple outlets across the country, assuming you're in Lagos, or, across the states, you can have just one production center delivering or sending your already made recipe to different locations. Okay, so that at those other outlets, those other small outlets, they're not starting from the scratch. You're just sending the recipe to them, and then they just do a few things and they make the meal. Okay, you don't want to have people making the recipe at different locations, especially when you are studying at a state level. All right. If you are starting at different, if you have different state, different countries, you can have one person who is making the recipe. I also think it is possible that it's not absolutely possible, rather, that someone would your chef wouldn't steal. Perhaps you can actually have like a legal document to back it to say to your chef, you cannot go and replicate this recipe even after you leave my company. That can be done, Babatunde. That can be done, actually. That can be done. So you can have that. So wherever the person is working, if you go there and it tastes the same as yours, that person can be sued. All right. But that's a lot of legal, back and forth. But that's one way you can just try your best to see how people can steal your recipe. All right. You want to keep the recipe between yourself and the chef.
Okay, so
All right.
the next question is, let me help
Uh,
you here. On the average, how much
all right. Thank you.
someone consider when you want to start a restaurant business in Lagos, including acquisition, marketing, and all? I know, I'm sure that's a strong one.
The, so the thing about that question is that I wish I had an idea of what kind of restaurant the person is talking about. Okay, because trust me, you can actually start a good restaurant. Well, depending on what you want to sell, with a millionaire thereabouts. With a millionaire, you can start. With a millionaire, you can start thinking about all your cost,
So let me
cost,
add to that
all your
question.
cost into
So,
consideration.
adventure, I have a
Yes.
millionaire and I want to start, let's say, a suya business. On percent,
Yes.
how much do you think that I
Mm-hmm.
should put on for marketing, for um,
Mm-hmm.
for salary, for on percentages? Just yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's do on percentages. Yeah. So I think if you're going to start a suya business, for example, you need to put out say about 30% of that 1 million should go to your salary, and I'll tell you why 30%. Then again, depending on the number of people you want to work with, 30% of a millionaire should be 300,000 naira. Yes, 300,000 naira for 1 year. You can actually make that work. Yes, you can make that work. Say yes, you can. For 1 year, working with about say 2 to 3 staff, 4 staff, 30%. Marketing, for marketing, yeah, I wouldn't exactly tell you the percentage because I think marketing is an investment that you need to. I see marketing as an investment. I don't see it as an expenditure, and it's because it is a way for me to get customers coming in to purchase my product. So I wouldn't exactly say 10%, 20%, 30%. I would just say to you, run sponsored ads on a daily basis, and you can actually spend pretty much between 2,000 naira a day, 2,000 naira a day, and you can make over, you can make, say in a day, you can make 100,000 naira
Let me
from a
ask
sponsored
a
ad of 2,000
question.
naira
So let's
daily.
use Burger Place as an
Hmm.
example. Um,
Yes.
at what point did you break even from the initial investment? So it was 2 months later, 6 months, 1 year, and all.
It was it was the third month. It was the third month. It was the third month because of all of the things that we bought. So it was the third month. It was the third month for us. And one other thing I want you guys to also think about is the light condition in the country. So what we did was that we all most of the things that we have at the burger place is gas powered, not electricity powered. Okay, so it's gas powered, but the oven, the deep fryer, all of them are all gas powered. So the third month for me was when we broke even the third month. All right, but we're not thinking about profits in the first month. We're just thinking about getting out there. Brand visibility is key. Brand visibility, brand acceptance, people liking what we're doing. We ensured that the price was good. The
Yeah, you're
price was good. So if you go on the page, you see some
fantastic. So I've
ridiculous
ordered from
prices.
Burger's Place
So
before,
good.
and I remember that I just
Yeah.
wanted to buy stuff for my mom. It was her birthday, and I was going online to see
Yeah.
what's the best I could get around that had different combination. And then I just came across Burger's Place, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this price. And then I was like, fantastic
Yeah.
pricing for all of what I got for that price.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well done. So
Absolutely.
the next
Yeah.
question:
Thank you so much. So that's
what advice do you have
yeah.
for someone with a vast experience working with fast food company who wants to start an online and profit while operating from home?
Can you read that again so that I can get that again?
What advice do you have for someone with a vast experience working with
Hmm.
fast food company who wants to start an online food business and
All
make
right.
profit? I mean, I'm sure the person means to make profit while operating from home.
Okay.
So she
So you
doesn't
have
want
experience in the
to,
fast food company.
yeah, she doesn't want to like rent a place.
Own a
She wants to
space.
start, yeah, she wants to start doing everything from home. And she already has an experience with working
And
with a
oh,
fast food.
oh dear, like your experience is already like a huge advantage for you. I mean, what you need to do is to think about your online space as your office, as your outlet. So you have to design it in a way that looks so good. So the pictures you have there, the designs you have there, the way it's arranged, it has to be really, really good. So if you go on my personal Instagram page, you will notice that there's a template for how I arrange the posts that I make. And that's because I want that space to be my office. So you don't have to, if you want to work, if you want to have like an online business, okay, don't see it like just Instagram, just Facebook, just Twitter. No, that's literally your restaurant. So how would you want your restaurant to look like? Is how you then arrange the food that you're selling. Are you going to put, for example, maybe you're doing chicken and chips, you're doing um, fries, you're doing burgers, you're doing noodles, you're doing pancakes. How do you want to arrange? Do you want to put drinks, pancakes, burgers? Do you want to do burgers, pancakes, drinks? It has to be really catchy. It has to be really colorful. So you also need to constantly post on your social media pages. So you could also have a website, all right? And you build a community on the website. You send newsletters if you want to really develop your space online, okay? But you need to constantly post on those pages. And then you need to maximize your story if you're working from home. Your story should show people how you go to the market, how you cook the food, the preparation stages, how the food appears, when you're done. Make use of all of the tools that is given to you on social media, on Instagram. There's reel, there's story, there's um, the timeline is there. Just make use of all of those places. The status, just make use of those things to make your page look very good. Also, you can connect your Instagram page to WhatsApp so that when people click on the link on Instagram, it takes them straight to your WhatsApp page, and that can be really, really helpful for you if you want to run an online business effectively, and you can be cooking from your home and making so much money without renting any space.
So this question is from Bezi Wako. Apologies for pronouncing your name wrongly. Hello from Johannesburg. I only offer food for added value to my core offering. I cook myself and have recently draw card, even in testimonials that I need to monetize. Thanks for sharing about the smallest way of starting. Okay, I think that was just a feedback. Yeah. Then we have another question from Ayo. Ayo says starting a food business seems to be everywhere. A lot of burger and cheap joints. How can one look into uniqueness? That's the next question.
Yeah. So one of the things I've realized is that we kind of like think there are lots of burger and chips business all about Lagos. Okay. And one thing I've come to realize is that most people are only thinking in terms of Lagos. Lagos because that's where they stay or wherever they stay. People don't think nationwide. They don't think globally. All right. And even if you're just thinking Lagos, the only reason why you think that a lot of food businesses around is because you are looking into getting into food businesses. There's someone in Ojo, there's someone in Egbeda, there's someone in Ikorodu, there's someone in Ekbe, there's someone in Lekki, there's someone in BI, there's someone in, just name it, in areas that just need that your special delicious meal. Before burger place came into the picture, there were other people selling burgers. Come on, the people were selling burgers, people were selling chicken and cheese, selling shawarmas all over the place, like you said. But we grew our customer base and people are coming to purchase what we are selling. And that's because the price is good, the quality is great, the quantity is amazing. All right. So you don't want to think in terms of what are people are already doing it, so why should I get into it? You want to say to yourself, I love what I do. I can do what I want to do. I love doing it. And I'm very sure that I'm going to deliver great quality. And I'm going to be consistent in what I'm doing. All right. And I'm going to own a particular market share. In Lagos, for example, there are over, if I'm not mistaken, 8 to 10 million people in Lagos. 8 to 10 million people in Lagos. And I promise you, we don't have up to 1 million people selling food in Lagos. Okay. So you just have to say to yourself, what is the best place for me to start? How much do I want to sell my products, and how do I want to get my product to my customers? Think about it that way, and you're good. You don't want to think about there are so many people said doing this thing here, so I can't do it. No, 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 no. The internet is a large space. Okay, if your picture qualities are good, if people buy your food and it tastes great, they will come back to buy from you as long as it tastes good. Okay.
So, guys, if you have more questions, please drop it. Daniel will be here to questions. Daniel,
Hmm.
I don't know if you have more things you want to share, or we wait for questions.
Yeah, let's go for questions because I try my best not to overwhelm people with so many things. I'm talking about so many things. I just try to make it as easy as simple as possible. So whoever is listening can grasp and just implement immediately.
Okay,
So
so
if
let me
people have
ask a
questions,
question. So let's say, for example, I just like to cook. I
mhm,
I've never done a business in cooking. I just like to
yeah,
cook. I'm not even sure I know how to cook, but I like to cook.
mhm,
Would you advise that I just go straight to starting a business, or I actually go for a training? Are there even places where you can actually learn the business of food, the business
mhm,
side of food? Because a lot of times,
yeah.
most times, people just know how to cook, but they don't know the business. Is there a way that I can learn it? Do I have to go and train to become a professional or a chef? Or what would you advise? Or I should just start wherever I am and be cooking for my family and friends?
So it's interesting, right? Because I cannot cook to save my life. You know what I mean? I
Wow.
cannot. Uh,
Wow.
I can't. Yeah, I can cook. I can cook, but I can't cook. I mean, I don't do these things myself, but I understand the business. Okay, I understand the business. So There are people who cook. There's a chef who does the cooking. Um, but I understand the business, and there's someone else who understands the numbers. It's a number game. You have to be careful about the numbers, because if your price is if your prices are not that high, right? You need to be careful not to when the prices of the products in the market go up, it shouldn't affect your profits. So you have to be very careful that you understand numbers. Numbers will mean you need to understand everything that is going into making, for example, one burger. Everything, to the oil, to the flour, to the chicken patties, to the bread. Everything needs to be, there's a number to all of it. So you have to understand those numbers, and then you say to yourself, how can I then make, what should I not put to say this is the price of the burger? Now, so if you know how to cook, but you don't understand the business side of it, okay, you might need to come for a training to understand the business
Do you
side
train
of
people?
cooking. All right. Yes, I actually do. All right. And the reason why I can't do all that right here is that it is super intense. Imagine me telling you how to break down this. It's super intense. That's why I'm just sharing ways that you can start a business, all right, with what you have where you are. Okay. But there's a business side of the business, of that restaurant, of the food business, that you need to understand. And it is not too difficult to understand, but you need to pay attention to it. Okay, whilst you have people that are cooking for you, you have to pay attention to the business and the strategy for growth. One thing that you need to also, if even though you know how to cook, you need to know when and why you need to launch new products, new new kind of meal, how your menu should look like, combos you want to bring out. You need to understand these things. Okay, so these things are there are things you can learn. So if you don't know how to cook, and you want to start you want to start the food business, you can do it. You can just learn the business of cooking, or the business of restaurant business. Okay, you can start that. And if you know how to cook, but you don't know the business side of it, you can also learn these things, and then you can excel
Okay, so
in what you're doing. But please, you have to
do
learn.
collaborations work in food business? Because they always say that, oh, businesses now collaboration is the new goal, is the new game, blah 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 blah. So is
Mhm.
that also the thing in food business?
Yes, you can collaborate. I actually think going forward, people are going to be buying other people's businesses or merging in a way. Um, Collaboration it can actually work. Okay, you look at what you're good at, and then you look for someone who's good at what you're not good at, and then you guys come together to make things work. So you're good at cooking. There's someone who's good at making the business grow. Someone who's a strategy, someone who has that business mind to grow the business. You look for that person. You guys come together and say, okay, let's make this thing work. Let's bring this business together. Let's make this business work, and then you guys excel together. So that's one thing. Collaborations can work, but you need to be clear as to what it is that you want, as to what it is everyone is bringing to the table. Okay, so you don't want to be saying over the next few months that I'm the only one working. You're not doing anything. You don't want to get into that space. So you need to be clear from the beginning. What am I doing for this business? What are you doing for this business? And there should be a clear JD so that people can go back to say, are you doing this? Am I doing this? So that you don't want to have people coming back and forth complaining and all of that stuff. But collaborations are going to work for the food business very well.
A quite dicey question. So was there any ever a time you had to sack one of your chefs, and and maybe it was a chef that knew how to cook, or I don't know, was there ever a reason why you had to sack that chef, and why? And yeah.
So we haven't sacked any chef yet, okay? But we've sacked some of our employees who were working in the kitchen and who were working in the front desk and who were handling the social media page. Um, One of the reasons why we had to sack them is because we were looking for people who can come into the system and understand that we are trying to break into this food industry, and we cannot afford to slack or to be caught lagging or just relaxing or not doing anything. We have to constantly be at the top of our game in terms of what we're posting, how we're communicating with customers. Oh my God, customer service is key. You need to ensure that you are relating with your customers at the best way possible. You see, when we started Burger Place, I was replying messages at 12 a.m., 1 a.m. at night. I'm not kidding you. Okay, people were literally dropping text because we have ads. We had ads running 247. Okay, so people, I can wake up at
So
night
based on
and I'll see
customer
them
care,
post,
I told you that
and I'm like,
I
oh,
have
fantastic.
actually bought something from Burger's Place. So let me tell you my experience. So
Yes, tell me.
got your number, the mainland center, I think Yaba so. Yeah, yeah, got your number,
Okay.
and then I wanted to order burger, and of course, this I had to pay before delivery and everything. So I paid, and you hadn't received the money, or Burger Place hadn't received the money. So I had to wait and wait.
Morning.
But then
Okay.
the good part was that the guy that was chatting with me on WhatsApp was very pleasant. He kept telling me that it was just a policy that until the money was received, that they can't send the goods out. And so in cases like that, that can be a very dicey case
Yeah.
because a customer can flip and say, I've sent your money. And why wouldn't you
Yeah.
just, how would you advise
Mm-hmm,
that those kind of situations
mm-hmm.
be taken care of? Yeah.
You see, one of the things that you want to do in this business is that you want to ensure that you do not mess up your policy to please customers and then you run at a loss. And you want to ensure you please customers whilst you also keep to your policies. And the best way you can do that is to always communicate what is going on with the customer. Okay, so we have a policy that if you make a transfer until we confirm the payment, we cannot um, start producing your what it is that you placed. Okay, and the reason for that is because we've realized sometimes when people transfer money, they get a reversal, and then we don't get the money, and it's a back and forth situation. You can't be too sure the person will send the money back. So as soon as we confirm payment, we begin production, and you get your what it is that you ordered for. Where it gets really messy is when you place your order, you make payment, and then few minutes after you ask me a question to say, how far with my meal? And then I tell you, sorry, ma, we have not received your money. This is 15 minutes after you place the order. Okay? I didn't tell you nothing about, man, we are trying to confirm your payments the moment you said I've made payments. Okay? So, because what normally happens is that when you make payments, we say to you, we are confirming payments or kindly send receipts so that we can confirm payment. And then when we confirm payment, we say payment confirmed. Okay. So if you make all of these conversations beforehand, you are at quote and unquote, you have some little time to tell the customer, sorry, ma'am, if we will not confirm the payment. But if you wait 15 minutes after before you say to the customer, ma'am, we have not confirmed the payment, that's after the customer asks you what's happening with my product. You say to the customer, sorry, ma'am, we've not confirmed the payment. That is going to be really crazy. So you need to be very careful. And you see, customer service is one thing that I've trained people over, I think, for 7 years now. I've been training people on customer service. One of the things that customers love the most is for you to carry them along. Carry them along, make them feel special. And it is not easy for you to train people to understand these things. It's something that you have to do continuously. So customers want to feel special. You don't want to say because you have several customers less important. And again, you should also make customers understand, especially when they walk in, that someone is here beforehand. Someone came here before you, and that means I have to attend to this person first. That is why you need to look at what Domino's is doing, and you see they have a tagging, a queuing system where you see that you come in 5 minutes before you see your name. You see that when your food is getting your pizza is getting ready, so you are at peace. You might want to okay. So, but what's important is that you must always carry your customers along. That's what that queuing system is for. The customer knows what is happening per time. You don't just keep quiet and when the customer asks you what's up, I haven't gotten my product, you say, oh, so sorry, ma, we've not confirmed your payment. So sorry, sir. That's really messy. That's one of the issues people can get from that confirmation of payment. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So one way you can also
No, no, go
yes,
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
one way that we're looking at ending all of those confirmation of payments is that we're trying to see how we can actually just get instant instant alerts from the bank. So that's the split between the business and the bank. So that's just by the way.
question from the participant. Someone who likes to cook but is not good at business. My okay, I think you've touched on that. Is it advisable? So I think so. The next question is,
Yeah, it is.
yeah, you want to speak on that?
Yeah, the reason why I was going to talk on that because the person said, is it advisable to partner with someone? I mean, not just anyone because the person is good at the business side of things. You need to be sure that whoever you want to partner with also has the same vision that you have for the business. Okay, you want to be very careful. All right, that's something that we can also talk about. We can also talk about that too, so that you know the kind of people you want to bring into your business, how you can go about talking to them, and all that stuff.
The next question says, I make my client with me as a part of a main experience I offer. Is there anything that makes my business different to those that are cooking as primary value offering?
And make my client
Cook
what?
with
Sorry.
me. So I think so earlier she had said that hello from Johannesburg. I offer food for added value to core offerings. I cook myself and I've recently discovered it even in testimonials that I need to monetize. Thanks for sharing about this. So I think
Mhm.
that I think she just cooks, not necessarily for business, and she's thinking that she can actually begin to monetize it. So she now says part of the
Yeah.
experience she now does is that maybe she invites some of her clients to cook for her, to cook with her at home, so that they have like that kind of customer experience and they feel like, I think that's the question. Yes,
They are
part
part
of
of
what
what she's
she's doing.
doing.
She now says, is there anything that makes my
Mm.
business different to those that are cooking as primary value offering?
Mm. Oh, there is. There's. I mean, from what you asked, the fact that you literally bring your clients to be a part of the experience of cooking is something different. I mean, not a lot of people do that. Okay, so but if you want to make it your primary, you want to make it like a primary source of your income or something that you do to make money. I think you can. I think you can. You can also stick with. You can do that and also get some of your customers. So there's a way you can make this work for you. So you are cooking and you're selling the food, and then sometime maybe the customer of the week, or yes, the customer of the week could come to the place where you cook, and then the person is a part of your cooking experience. And there's a video to say this person was a customer of the week, so I invited her over to my kitchen and we made this meal together. So that makes for good PR. Okay, so you can actually do both of them. Okay, and if you cook as good as you say you cook, and you want to make money from it, I think you should go ahead and make it happen. Whilst you can still keep this model of you having clients come over to the house or to the restaurant or to the kitchen, and just be a part of the experience of you cooking. You can actually have both of them go for you, and it could be super unique. It could be super unique. You could have videos. You could have newsletters. In fact, you could actually go cook in the houses of your customers or your clients, and then people say, "I'm going to come and cook at my customer's house today." Who's up for all of those things? Just to build a community for yourself and your business. I think it can work. I think it can work.
Question is, have you loyalty rewards for consumers, and do you think it's a good idea? Loyalty reward.
So I was we had one coming up, but we have not implemented it. But I think it's going to work, and here's why I think it's going to work. But one of the things that I want to try and do is that I would say to you that you don't want to make people. One way you want to get customers is by having quality product, quality food. All right, but if you want to build loyalty, you can have something that says if you buy from us 4 times straight at a particular price, you get to earn a voucher that you can now claim you can use to buy a product when you come and buy the fifth time. And then we add something to that whatever it is that you're ordering the fifth time. So that can actually work. So people can actually keep on coming and then refer people. But in a sense, that's not like a business model for the food industry. Okay, what the food industry does the most is that they try their best to have combos. They try their best to ensure that the prices are good and the quality is good. Okay, but loyalty rewards can actually work. It can actually work. I haven't seen people doing it, but I've thought about it, and I think it's going to work, especially when you're trying to build a community and then you want to make the people that are purchasing your products have an experience of what it is that you're doing. Maybe you want to make them feel among. Yes, that can actually work. That can work. But I haven't explored it.
So guys, if you have more questions, please drop it. So let me ask them about this. So in a situation whereby you have started your business, you have started for about a year, still not broken
Mm-hmm.
even. Yeah, still
Hmm.
probably borrowing money to pay salary, to buy
Hmm.
stuff and all of that. So
Yeah.
is it a problem of um I need to change what I'm cooking, or I need to employ a business strategist? Yeah.
So I mean, 1 year is a long time not to break even, especially when. Okay, so I'll put it this way: if you're making sales for the 1 year but you're not broken even, it could be that the things you're selling, the things you are making, and and how much you're selling it for, the profit is really is thin. Okay, it could also mean that where the things you are spending money on are too much compared to the products that you are selling. It could be your running cost. It could be your running cost. It could be your running cost will also mean how much you're paying for rent for the place that you are using, how much you're paying for rent, how much buy your gas, what's the light bill like, what's your salary structure like. Um, yes, it could be that you're spending so much money on those part of the business than you're making profit on the business. So you want to try and see how you can look at the business very well to say where are we spending, where are we bleeding from, why are we spending so much money from, why are we spending so much money and then we're not getting enough returns. You need to look at it properly. Um, for people who love to cook, yeah, they might not be able to see this thing because they just love to cook. I just want to cook and sell. People are happy. The food tastes nice and they are good. They're happy. They love the feedbacks. So you need to. That's why it's important that you understand the business. You understand the business also, because whilst people are having a great meal and you're happy that you're serving people's needs, you don't want to bleed to death. To death. You don't want to bleed to death. You want to ensure that you are making profits, no matter how small, no matter how big it is. You want to make ensure that you're making profits. Uh, so you want to look at your business model, your running costs, and you want to say to yourself, what am I spending money on, and how much am I spending? How much am I spending? What am I spending money on? How much am I getting in return? Every bit of your business, from your salaries to your how much you buy your. So one of the things that you must do again in the food industry is that you must buy your food stuff in bulk, so that you can it's cheaper for you in that way. If you're buying in units of one, you won't be able to break even on time. So you buy in bulk. So you want to look at how much you're spending, everything you spend, every penny you spend. You want to document it, and then say to yourself, what am I spending on and what am I getting out of this? Okay, 1 year is a very long time. But if the business you're running, you have a 1 year to say, I want to run the business for 1 year, even if I don't break even for 1 year, but as long as I'm making sales and I'm building my customer base, I'm good. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thanks.